pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Item 3, public comments. Is there anybody wishing to speak? Mr. Lucy.
Evening.
You're on the clock.
My concern, I see that. My concern is the illegal third floor apartment, 137, 139 Woodstock Avenue, which has been in front of you for probably 4 or 5 years now. It continues to be occupied, and until recently, the person or persons that own the building recently put in a pellet stove, which is, I mean, we have an illegal apartment. Now, right now it's being rented by a family that have maybe a 6 or a 7-year-old little girl. There's an illegal pellet stove in there. The plate comes out of the side of the house, and it's all wrong. It's an illegal apartment. It needs to be taken care of. There's going to be a fire in this house big time, and you've been forewarned. At meetings before, I told Mayor Place about it. That if there is a fire, the town's going to be liable because you know about this, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Has the building inspector
It
examined?
has been numerous times. Numerous. I have a stack of complaints that I filed. All kinds of inspections on electrical work, plumbing work. It's supposed to be done by certified people. This guy does it himself. He put in this pellet stove. Now I know it's sitting on a wooden floor. The pipe comes off the wall, maybe 6 inches. You put a hole right outside of the front door. It comes out of the wall. It goes up with the eave of the roof. It sits right underneath the eave of the roof. He's got a piece of flashing, so instead of heat going up, it's going to come down.
You own this building?
Do I own it? I wish I did own it. It wouldn't be standing.
Next door.
Yeah, my neighbor.
In my neighborhood.
But there's an issue here. There's a big problem. This guy does what he wants. Bill Sanos just sent him letters. We're going to fine you $25 a day. He stops for a month or two. No more letters. Everything settled down. His people move right back in. It's continuous. It needs to be bolted. The doors, front door, side door, that apartment needs to be bolted
Does he
completely.
own the building, or is he just rents?
He's a former owner. He owns it. I think now it's his 2 nephews that have the building. Hey, I'm sure somebody has their address someplace. But I mentioned to Norman, I had Norman, come and check to take a look. I don't know if he's been there or not. Because I'm in school during the day, so I don't know who's going. My last complaint I filed, you're supposed to get some kind of return. I followed up on it, I looked, I got nothing. I filed a complaint on the 21st of April. It's now May 4th. 2
You
weeks
filed it.
downstairs in the building official, Mr. Post. He's well aware of this because one of the last letters he sent, he advised the owner that 3-family houses are not permitted in a zone R7. Occupancy of a residence without valid zoning and building permits is not permitted. Like I said, this guy does what he wants.
I talked to Lee Post, and it's time that we take the same route that we are doing with 6A Prospect Street, we just bring it to the state's attorneys for these types of matters.
Well, that's as high as we can go, the state
Okay.
attorney.
Yep. Okay. Because I mean, it's just,
Obviously, he's not listening to anybody else.
well, that's just it. It just,
Now it's on record that we're going to bring it over to the state attorney,
yeah.
and they have the authority to throw them out.
Well, they have the ability to act on the building official's notice, whatever it is. So if he's been in violation, whether it's zoning or whether it's building official, building code, they have the ability to add both.
All right, Dan, I don't want to cut you off, but 3 minutes
I
are up.
understand.
And you're on record.
Thank you.
And we'll take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Follow up a little bit on that.
Yes, sir. State your name for the record, as they
My
say.
name is Peter Poulin. I own the property directly behind 137.
So what's your address, sir?
I'm
Your address?
298 Parliament Street.
Thank you.
Now, my question to you is the fire escape that was built to the 3rd floor. I talked to Lee Post and asked him if he had it inspected. He says, no, they can't have it because the 3rd floor is not an apartment. I said, you didn't inspect it?
It's a
So
mess.
that means, one, no building permit. Now, a week and a half ago, the people moved out and they carried very heavy furniture down this fire escape. What happens if that thing broke away from the house, or it fell apart? Now, this gentleman, this Andy, did all the welding on it. Now, I asked Lee Post, he says, you gotta be a certified welder to weld on a fire escape of that magnitude.
Okay, thank you, sir. So noted. Anybody else? Yes, Nora?
Just in response to Mr. Luce here, he just made me aware that the wood pellet stove has been installed. That was something that was not installed before. I am responsible for 3-family and above, but this is not supposed to be a 3-family. It should be only a 2-family. So what he has done is illegally installed a 3rd family, and it's not the first time. It's not.
So there's another
And
issue.
like I said, like Mr. Luce stated, Bill St. Ange has been involved with this process, but he ignored it, and
Okay.
he's continuing to do it.
Thanks. Anybody else like that? Yes, sir.
Where's your poster? Where's your poster? All right, I can do both posters. Well, you have to say it's apropos, as you can see. This is the remnants of 6A Prospect Street. I don't know how many of you had an opportunity to get up there. It's not an area that people go to very often. I have gotten back from my travels in September and began to try and look into it. I talked to the fire marshal the last, probably 18 months, 2 years to find out what's going on. I get all kinds of stories. You know, it's the state fire marshal's holding it up. This guy's holding it up. I was told by my friend in October that the mayor told her that it was out to bid to be torn down. I hear all kinds of things, but nothing seems to happen. Now, I can understand the city not wanting to end up owning it. Nobody wants to own it. This is going to be in the court for 10 years. Nobody wants this property. They don't want the liability. But I can tell you, living across the street from this, you know, is very unpleasant. There's a portion of roof here. That's not there anymore. I took this picture yesterday, had it printed up today. It's gone. That portion has fallen down now, all over the sidewalk. I don't, you know, I'm doing my best here, you know, to try to find out how to get this taken care of. I certainly appreciate it that this is going to be a huge expense eventually for the town. I don't see any way around that. The people don't want this settled in court, because whoever wins loses. And again, and this thing with the blight, 4 or 5 of us turned in blight complaints in October. Never heard anything of it. They just seem to disappear into thin air. I haven't been down to get the ordinance yet and what the procedure is supposed to be, but that's my first stop tomorrow. This is just unreasonable. If this was across the street, you know, if this were downtown, it'd be gone by now. Courts or no courts, it'd be taken care of because it seems a blight on the town. The fact that it's tucked away up there where we are is making, I think, a big difference. If Danny were still up on that hill, it'd be gone, and everybody here knows that. So if you guys can help to figure out what we can do about this, because it's not right to be living across the street from this.
And I agree with you 100%.
You know,
If it was up to me, it would be knocked down. However, we have to follow certain procedures. Doug Cutler, our town administrator, Norm, our fire marshal, have been busting their fanny and fighting with the state because there were 2 fatalities in that building. It took the state over a year to close the books on it. So while they're doing their investigation, we couldn't touch that building. They finally turned it over to Norm. Norm's report was the same thing. It's inhabitable, it's got to come down. Then we find out that the owner, who's supposed to be on record, doesn't own it, and somebody else. So I have a list for you, a timeline of what we've been doing, so you don't think we're doing nothing. From October 10th, 2014 to April 29th, 2015, these are all the steps that we've gone through to get that damn building knocked down. It's unsafe, there are too many kids in that area, and as I told Mr. Cutler, when the lawsuit comes in that that building fell down on a little kid, we're going to be liable, because we know it. Just like Mr. Lucci said, he put the town on report. So until the court releases it, and the woman who owned it said that she didn't own it at the time of the fire, whatever the heck that means. Somebody owns it, and they don't want to pick up the tab to knock it down. So I'll tell you this. Within a short period of time,
we're gonna try and knock that building down, with or without the state. This is my opinion. It's probably all wrong, that's okay. And, you're shaking your head, and,
Who's gonna sue you if nobody owns it?
well, this person owns another piece of property in town.
I know.
Put the lien on that house to pay for it. So you could send me some candy when I'm in jail. But I sympathize and I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is a real pain, and there's a lot of little kids up there. My fear is that they're gonna go in there playing because kids are kids. And there's no fence around it, there should be.
It's not posted.
Not posted, you're right.
2 years
So
later.
somebody's not doing their job.
I agree.
That's the bottom line.
Why isn't it posted? I mean, since the fire at least.
Posted in what respect?
No
Notice.
trespassing? Should be something, it should be fenced in too.
I mean,
We're not gonna let this go.
But the town should condemn it if they had
It is
over there.
condemned.
There's no sign up saying it's condemned,
Oh, I can do that, I can get that done tomorrow.
you know?
Just,
One thing, now, the school kids come up, they walk in the street up around that corner, car comes along, they get on that sidewalk. A fence is not gonna help those kids. It comes down, it hits the sidewalk. A fence isn't gonna stop that.
The building's gotta be taken down. There's no ifs,
Definitely.
ands, or buts.
It's been an eyesore and it's sad, it's depressing to look at it. It's,
So what you're saying is we've got that completely released now, it's under, it's not?
No. We were told by the assistant state's attorney that we had to re-inspect. The re-inspection was done, same finding. We have to give them notice, which we've given them notice. They had 30 days in which to comply with the notice. If they don't comply within 30 days, it goes into the hands of the
How
state.
long's it been since you've contacted?
April 29th, so it's only been almost a week, a little less than a week.
Mr. Benoit, it says April 29, 2015, order to vacate and posting of unsafe structure was reissued on April 29, 2015, with 30 days for owner to comply. Letter was copied to Special Deputy Assistant State Attorney. Still waiting to hear from the property owner or attorney representing the individual. Somebody's ducking us and the state's assistant attorney.
But by the end of the month, we
Yes.
should hear something on this matter, is what you're saying.
So let me just play this out. So what happens, the 30 days go by, and we don't get a response? Then what
Take
happens?
the state's attorney's office, get an order to knock it down.
Okay.
Did you hear that, sir? If within 30 days we don't get any response, we're going to knock it down.
The other thing I was told that instead of
You're gonna have to fight with the guys up there digging holes in the street to put the water pipes.
yeah.
thing is, it's both criminal and civil, I'm told.
It's nice.
The problem is they don't know who the owner was.
We
at
know who
the
the
time
owner
of-
is.
Oh, at
We've
the
already
time
had
of the
a
fire?
response from the attorney representing the owner, so,
At the time of the fire, we know who owned it?
yes. It hasn't changed, even though there was supposed to be a change at midnight that night. It never
Materialized.
never
So they
occurred.
have 30 days from that notice to do something.
Right, my understanding is there's a question of what time the event was in order to determine who the owner was that was responsible for when the event occurred.
As far as we know,
And,
it's
you
on
know,
our, it's on our.
I don't want that to be my problem.
It's a field card, and the owner is the owner that's on the
Well, that's
field.
fine with me. Downstairs somewhere, you have the thing saying who to send the tax bill to.
Right,
As far as I would think that's the owner.
that's the owner.
You know, I mean, if you want to send me my tax bill, I'm saying I'm not the owner, we'll see what happens.
You've guided me into another situation. If another house burns down, hopefully it never happens, but it burns down and is deemed uninhabitable, and there are no fatalities, I'm going to ask the town administrator to call or put out the bid and knock it down the next day, if we have to. If we can do that.
They do it in other cities.
What, Norm? Come on, fire marshal.
I don't mean to say yes or no. Depending on the specific situation, when you have a fatality in a house, when you have a second fatality on Grove Street, it's in the basic same condition as Prospect Street, maybe a little bit more visible. But we're going to be in the same situation with that one as we are with Prospect Street. Trying to find the owner and the owner's responsibility, to assume the responsibility, is going to be challenging. And we're going to have to go through the same process with the town's attorney and the state's attorney in order to correct that situation. It's coming. With Prospect Street, be advised that, and these guys know this, there are 6 attorneys involved with this case that have been addressing me. And when I specifically asked them who they're representing and in what cause, they typically tell me that, I'm sorry, that's privileged information, I have no obligation to share it with me. So I don't know who they're representing.
But they're all working by the hour.
There are a lot of them,
They're on retainer.
on your list, and you guys know that I do.
Whatever the settlement is, they get it.
But you can understand what this is gonna be in the courts for 10 years, that house, this owner thing, because nobody wants to be the owner. Because whoever ends up winning is gonna be a big loser.
Trust me, it won't be the course of 10 years.
Gotta wait till the end of the May.
Okay. Item 4, approval of minutes, April 20, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, second. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Ayes have it. Petitions and communications. Have we received any petitions or communications? Okay. General Government Committee, codification.
We had a meeting of the, codification. In my spare time, I'm trying to still put together the list of the overall arching ordinance that we have to adopt.
Okay. Reports of special committees, Charter Revision Study Committee. It says see attached minutes. Are they in here?
No. We had a meeting of the group on April 28th. You'll be hopefully appointing 2 new members tonight. And it was a very good meeting. The issue came down to the appointment of officials and departments and the administrative officials and departments, which are 2 separate chapters in the existing charter. One of them seems to have some conflicts because not only does it appoint, but the administrative officials has also the boards and commissions, but they also, under that, they also have certain town employees, like the Parks and Rec Director and the Public Works Director and the WPCA Director. It's the feeling of the Study Revision Committee that those should all be brought under Chapter 5, which is the appointed officials and departments, and keep all the boards and commissions and agencies separate, and without having them responsible for any employees. The employees would be the responsibility of the mayor as the chief elected official, and that's the changes that they will probably be making a recommendation to that effect. And this is something that Bill St. has had problems with for a number of years.
Oh, I know Bill's working
In some cases, the Board of Selectmen are the people responsible for appointing, and the other cases, the mayor with the consent, vice consent of the Board of Selectmen. Bill's opinion is that they should be all one, is that the mayors should have the appointment for all town personnel and also for the boards and commissions.
Thank you for that report. Public Facilities Study Committee. I talked to Alan Ross and he sent me an email. I sent him an email saying I think we should have a joint meeting between the Selectmen and the Facilities Committee, but let's postpone until after the budget is approved so we get that out of the way. So that would be somewhere in the middle of June somewhere. And then we can sit down and discuss. I also said to him that it might be okay to put some advisory questions on the November ballot and see what the citizens want to do. And to the effect of, do you want a new library, yes or no? Do you want a new town hall, yes or no? Do you want to combine it? So we get, or the facilities committee gets some input on what the people feel. So we don't lose another election by 11 votes. So that's up to Alan to bring that to his committee.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't it be prudent, are they going to be coming before the Board of Selectmen first before they go to their town meeting?
Yeah, we're gonna have a,
Okay.
the plan was,
So we have a good idea of...
yeah, the plan was to have a joint meeting. In that joint meeting, discuss what was supported by the committee, and then, but also give you the other alternatives that we looked at, so that you're all informed, well informed about why we came to that decision as a committee.
Okay, so what do you think, Tony, that would take place?
Oh, I don't know, it's up to the committee. As far as I'm concerned, I think we should, my opinion is we should wait till after the budget. The budget goes, the town meeting is the 13th, and then you have 30 days after that before the budget's cemented in. And I told you about the middle of June, and then have a joint meeting. By that time, it gives them, the facilities committee, a lot more time to get numbers, strategies, and a solid proposal to bring to the joint committee.
Elmer, you must have quite a bit of information, though, that the committee has been working on, and
There's
so
information.
therefore, by that time, if it happens to be in June sometime, whatever that date is, we should have a lot of information to look over and pursue.
Well, the committee's gonna come together with the selectmen, it's not gonna be, it's gonna.
No.
Yeah,
No.
but yeah, and I think, there's a lot, but there's a lot more to be done too. So I think, part of that, well, that, it's really the committee's decision, but I absolutely, that's what it is. Because we all know you guys are gonna have to have questions answered, and you're gonna ask questions, because we have to make a decision to bring this to the taxpayers, so. But I
So we
mean,
want to do the prudent thing and look at it objectively.
Exactly.
What's going to be in the best interest of Putnam going forward?
exactly, and I think, Tony and Alan had that conversation, and I think Alan was in total agreement over waiting until after the budget, but we'll have that, we have a meeting tomorrow to open up some RFPs. I'm not sure that that's on the agenda for tomorrow, but it will be brought up, I'm sure, at some point.
So you still have quite a bit of stuff to look over
Well,
before you, to plan for the meeting. You don't have all the materials there in the building.
We could come and tell you what the committee decided. We could tell you generally what was decided, but if you're going to ask, the reasons why we decided that, because we have basic numbers and basic things, but for us to actually come to you with more than that at this point, we don't have more than that. We just,
I was impressed, Peter, though, that I'm not on the committee, but I've attended a lot of meetings, is they looked at all the different options, because I said, no matter what option you end up with, the question's going to be, well, did you guys look at this option? Did you look at that option? And they did. And I think that's what it's going to take to, to present it to the voters at a town meeting, to say, hey, here are all the options we looked at, and here's the one that we want to go with. So I was impressed with the amount of homework that they did.
So that'll take away some of the questions we might have.
Oh,
The
yeah.
more due diligence that's done by the committee,
Yep.
and I'm sure once we meet, there's going to be more things that we may have missed. I mean, nobody's, perfect. Go ahead, Don. You want to add?
I'm not the chairman, but I am on that board, and these people are there. I think the important thing is that we need to have answers for you people. And that's what we're trying to get, is put as many answers together as possible for when we're challenged.
I think the bottom line, Norm, and I'm sure the facilities committee knows, is the dollars.
Exactly.
We're coming to, it's a $40 million pipe and water project. We've got the school coming online 2017, $60 million. The regular budgetary problems we have. So there's going to be a lot of money involved. So I would like to see a non-binding thing where the people get to have some input to help the facilities committee and help the selectmen.
so it's got to be non-binding at this point. I agree with you at this point. We simply don't have the cash to throw at something new at this point in time. I mean, we got to be looking at 2-3 years at least down the road before we think about building a new building, whether it be a town hall or a library or whatnot. Just for the cost itself, based on all the other things we got going on, the capital projects that we have going on from now until 2017.
Correct. Okay, item 8, staff reports, economic community development, ZEO report, town planner, assessors. This is a non-reporting month. Does anybody have any questions for the people that are here? Delphin's here for the economic development. Don's here for the planning. If you have any questions, ask them now or forever hold your peace.
I have a question about the ZEO and the building official.
Go right ahead.
Didn't we talk about at the last couple meetings to get kind of a report from them?
Yeah,
I sent an email and a phone call and a face-to-face with Mr. Post, reminding him that Renee Velasco said, it would be nice if we got a report monthly on blighted areas, blight, not the building permits that you go to.
Right.
Blighted.
And we got nothing.
Because here's an example of people saying.
Yes.
Can we ask him again?
Yes, well, he'll provide it as part of his regular report, unless you want it outside.
What Renee
Right.
talked about.
An updated thing monthly.
Okay.
That carries over all the blighted properties. that we
Right.
have.
I was thinking like the first of the month.
Okay.
May 1st.
When is their reporting?
Oh,
When's
yeah.
their report?
I don't know, he's always.
The second meeting.
Second meeting?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
But even then, I'm pretty sure there's nothing that we've gotten
We've got
from
nothing.
him saying there were 5 reports on something. I mean, I think we've gotten
No.
one
Well-
piece of paper about a light complaint.
And he's supposed to do the report, give it to Denise, Denise files it, and has this ongoing file, but what's the next step? The next step, and then finally it goes to you, which then, and then it goes down, Bill St.
Yeah, and I've never seen it.
No one's seen it.
Yeah.
But I agree with you wholeheartedly. You ought to have a hit list you review every month.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay, which ones are coming off the list?
right.
We are setting a
What's the
meeting.
status of them?
Peter, I've done this, the only thing I can do is fire him. We get a new building inspector at this point.
We are setting a meeting
The 15th of May, 4
15th of May,
p.m.
and we're going to bring everybody that has a hand in enforcement to the meeting. There's a
4:30,
particular-
4 o'clock.
There's a particular property of particular interest that we want to review, but we can bring up some of the other items at that meeting. And we did this before, I think before many of these, your current members have been on it. We did this initially back in 2000, when we brought all the people together, and we had some success in terms of resolving some of these issues, so.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Doug Cutler on the administrator's report?
No, it's a pretty good report this time.
It's a very nice report.
Excellent.
It was lengthy.
Hmm?
It was lengthy, but very, very,
Well, it took a few courses at Amherst to get it squared away. Thanks, Doug.
You're welcome.
Okay, unfinished business, number 10. Quinnebog Regional Tech Park. Where do we stand on that, besides the quicksand?
I have nothing else to report except we have the groundbreaking on Wednesday at 10.
Wednesday, 10, we have a
And
groundbreaking.
I would invite it.
where is
The
it?
stake in the ground?
No, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. And also, I'd like to add something. There is a recommendation from J&D about contract 3, which is the river trail. So if we could add that under the item on bids.
Do you need a motion for that?
Well, why don't we wait till we get there?
Let's wait till we get there.
So where exactly we're gonna have the groundbreaking?
It's going to be, you know where the big pile is and where the, the really big pile. You know where the bridge is?
I know where the bridge is.
On the west side?
I go over you're talking the Bailey Bridge, or you're talking?
No,
the
I'm talking
bridge they're
about
building?
the bridge yet to be built.
Okay, I know where that is.
Okay, you go to that before you get to the YMCA. There's a big pile on your
On the
left.
left.
There's a terrace, and it's between where the bridge is being built and that big pile. We're going to have the opening there.
Nice.
Look for a tent.
Is somebody gonna be there to show us exactly where they're
Well,
going?
you'll see
If I
the-
have nothing better to do, I'll be directing you.
You'll
okay?
see the trailer.
You'll see the
And
tent.
it's to the left of the
Oh,
trailer.
okay.
You'll see the tent.
Oh, you're gonna have a tent? Very nice.
Yeah.
And it'll be just regular coffee, no decaf.
So this is over the bridge,
Over the Bailey
you
Bridge.
take a left,
Come over the Bailey Bridge, keep going on that road, you pass the big
Take your
pile,
left.
you'll see the YMCA on your
Right.
left.
right,
Just before the YMCA, there's an opening, and you go towards the river, and there'll be a tent.
They're supposed to be there first thing in the morning, so you might want to take it.
Oh, they're gonna be in tomorrow, first thing? Oh, okay.
All right.
Tonight?
10B, fiscal year 2015-16 town of budget. We presented the budget to the Board of Finance. The Board of Finance accepted it, and they're going to present the budget that we approved to go May 13th to the people. I don't think there's anything else to discuss. We have to need a motion to recess for a town meeting.
So move.
Second.
Motion made, second to recess the regular meeting for a town meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so voted.
Oh, you open.
Does Denise have to read the call?
Oh, yeah.
Sarah's here.
Could I be notified, like, what's going on with, so you can,
Yeah, we have your.
I got everything, Dan.
all right, I just wanted
There'll be fireworks here tomorrow.
145 Woodstock Avenue? Could be fireworks
There'll be
here.
fireworks here. There won't be that illegal wood burning stove.
Yeah,
Okay, Sarah, you're up.
thank you.
Okay, Mr. Poole, you're 298 Providence Street.
Yes, I'd like to be notified. I'm all set.
Okay, Sarah Sinet is going to read the call for the town meeting.
Town of Putnam notice a special town meeting, May 4th, 2015. Electors and citizens qualified to vote in town meeting in the town of Putnam, Connecticut are hereby notified and warned that a special meeting of said town will be held at the Daniel S. Rivera Selectmen's Chambers, Putnam Town Hall, 126 Church Street, Putnam, Connecticut, on the 4th day of May, 2015, at 7:30 in the evening for the following purposes. 1, to choose a moderator for said meeting. 2, to determine the wishes of those present and eligible to vote at town meeting of the town of Putnam upon an ordinance providing for alternates to the Water Pollution Control Authority as follows. Be it ordained by the town meeting of the town of Putnam that the Water and Sewer Authority shall include, in addition to its 5 members authorized by town charter, 3 alternate members. Said members shall be appointed by the Board of Selectmen, initially 1 member for a term of 1 year, 1 member for a term of 3 years, and 1 member for a term of 5 years. Subsequently, each alternate position shall be filled for a term of 5 years upon expiration of the existing term. Said term shall be arranged such that terms of the alternates expire on the same date as the regular members. In the absence of the regular member, the chairperson of the authority shall appoint an alternate to serve. Dated at Putnam, Connecticut, this 20th day of April 2015, Town of Putnam, Anthony P. Falzerano, Mayor, Renee C. Lasto, J. Scott Kempek, Alma D. Maury, Owen H. Har, Peter E. Benoit, Douglas Cutler Jr., its Board of Selectmen, attest Sarah J. Sinay, Town Clerk.
Thanks, Sarah. We need a motion to nominate a moderator.
I nominate Anthony Falzerano. Move the nominations be closed.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Otherwise,
Now we got to vote on
the
it.
motion for, that's for nominations to be closed, now you have to vote on you.
Okay, all those in favor of Anthony Paul Gabriel Felsman as moderator?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you, Scott, again.
You're welcome.
Now someone has to call a question.
Move the question.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Move the question.
Motion made by Alma, second by Scott to move the question. Alternates to the WPCA. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Ayes have it, so voted. Need a motion to close the town meeting.
So we adjourn?
Second.
Motion made and second to adjourn the town meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now we need a motion to open, reconvene the regular meeting.
Someone second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item 11, grant consideration and updates. Do you have anything there, son? No grants?
Oh, I'm sorry, is that, no, I don't have anything.
Well, hold on. Wake up over there.
I was already on new
We
business.
don't know what the hell you got on that computer.
I'm already on new business. It's so small here, I can't read it.
You want to add J
I
and D?
know.
There you go.
You want to add J and D?
When we get to that section.
Okay, new business, 12.
Under F.
Consider the appointment of Republican William Pearsall, 22 Frank Street, to the Charter Revision Study Committee.
So moved.
Second.
Any objections? Any discussion? All those in favor of William Pearsall, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, so voted. Consider the appointment of Republican Peter Benoit, 171 Woodside Ave, Side Street.
17.
That's
Oh,
117.
okay.
Well, good thing we got that.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to appoint Peter Benoit. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, Pete, you're in. C, consider granting permission to the VWF Albert J. Bro, Post 1523, to hold its annual Poppy Drive on Friday, May 15th, and Saturday, May 16th.
So
So moved. Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
I have a question.
Question, go.
Okay, why are they asking us permission to hold a poppy drive? Is it being held on town property?
They got a little letter in here.
They normally ask permission every year, because some of the fellows are on private property, some are on town property. It just overflows.
I think it's because they're actually soliciting, so it's sort of, you need to have approval to, even though they, it's just asking for donations. Just reading.
Answer that? All those in favor of giving the VFW permission, signify aye. Anybody
Aye.
opposed? Ayes have it, so voted. Grant monitoring policy and procedures for manual.
Couple of questions.
Yeah, what is that?
We have 2 federal grants. One is the Drug-Free Communities Grant that we use for Putnam Pride, and the other one is the Stop Act Grant Every year, we have to file what's called a town single audit report. And in this case, it's for 2 fiscal years, June 30th, 2013 and June 30th, 2014. They do a financial capability review as part of this. These federal agencies do a financial capability review as part of their monitoring of the grant. And since we had 2 material weaknesses stating that there were problems in terms of us monitoring the grants, that they require us to do certain things to come into compliance. And one of the things that they requested that we do is to provide a grants management policy and procedure. And this was worked out mainly with the help of our auditing firm, Mahoney Disabled. So it's a requirement that, so we don't go on a high-risk classification as a high-risk grantee, that we submit a grants management policies and procedures manual, and it's subject to your review as the Board of Selectmen to be approved. And it will go down as one of the policies that you will continually approve throughout the years.
So we have it all, you have the draft all done?
It's in your packet.
Right, I saw that.
So that's the one that was completed. I've had Paula review it, and she made some suggestions, not major things, but they feel that it's in good shape in terms of what they require. It's going to be a lot more work in terms of what we're required to do, but we have a software package through our accounting system that we should be able to stay on top of our grants once we learn how to use it. So, and again, this will be also important that once we get a new finance director in hand, that we'll have this procedures and policies manual in place.
So I move we approve as submitted.
I have a question.
Yes.
Oh, let me second that.
Motion made second, now we got discussion. Peter, go.
Okay. Did you supply the information to them by 4:30 that they requested for the grant?
Yes.
You did?
I submitted this draft to them last week.
Okay.
And I told them subject to approval by the Board of Selectmen tonight. So he emailed me back saying, send us the results of the Board of Selectmen's meeting.
Did you ask Bill to take a look at it? Was there any?
There's nothing in there that requires town council.
Any other questions for Doug? See none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Ayes have it, so voted. I'm unclear about the next thing.
Me too.
Day Kimball Hospital annual building fees. Now, they have the blanket for 500, they want to go down to 100,000. What about their payment? Is it still 5,600?
No.
Well, there's nothing on here that says.
The current arrangement is $500,000 blanket permit.
Right.
And the fees paid under that is $5,630.
Okay.
If it goes with the requested arrangement, which is the $100,000 blanket permit, their fees would go down to $1,126.
Okay.
Well, what about the $1 million?
That will be a separate building permit, which will be applied for by the contractor on that project.
And how much are we going to get from him on that?
Whatever the standard
Whatever it
rate
comes
is for
to.
that is.
So
This is just their day in, day out type of things when they're doing electrical work, and they're all licensed and qualified to do the work. Of course, because hospitals have a lot stringent requirements than you would necessarily in your house for electrical work and plumbing work. So what basically the hospital is saying is that because of our financial difficulties, we don't envision that we're going to have $500,000 of work
No, I
at
was
this
just
point.
looking at the 1 million. That was the second question. I would assume that we would review this annually only because of the financial
That's
status
correct.
of the
Yeah, that's correct.
So let me play devil's advocate. So what if they do more than the $100,000 worth of work?
You get your money.
Because the building official is in touch with their facilities maintenance person, he's going to know that there's going to be.
So there's no way we could lose, is what you're saying?
Right.
Okay. With that said, is there a motion to?
So we'll.
Well, we got a second. We have a motion. We have a motion.
We have a motion.
Where is it? Okay.
Yeah, because we had the discussion.
Okay.
That's right.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Ayes have it, so voted. Before we go to the bid awards, I think our town administrator wants us to add what on there?
Yes, I'd like to add the award of bids for the River Trail and Treatment Plant Driveway Project, contract number 1 under the Quinnipiac Regional Technology Park, for the recommendation of award of bid to Herbert E. Butler Construction Company as the responsible low bidder. This has been vetted by the State of Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development under our manufacturing systems program. So, and they are in agreement that this company meets the requirements.
So I move that we put that as item F4.
Second.
Motion made and second to put the bid on the river trails under F4. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Have it so ordered. Okay, let's go back to F1. Phone system. What are we doing with that?
I don't know.
Denise?
I'm sorry, we're looking, I was looking for a motion to award that to Savage Systems. They were the only one that quoted to specifications, and they were the lowest for
Is
them
it
as
like
well.
24,000 and change?
And the local.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded to award the bid for the phone to Savage System of Putnam, Connecticut, USA. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Catch basin cleaning.
Jury requests that it be awarded to Truax.
Truax. If you
They're the
remember,
only
we
bidder.
sent them to Jerry for clarification. So is there a motion to award this? Motion made and second by Owen to award it to Truax.
But in the future, aren't we gonna go,
Yes.
make sure we go to the...
Definitely go
It's
to
going to go on the
state bids
state
and
contracting portal, and we're
current
going to
ones.
use Norwich Forward.
Okay. All those in favor of awarding that?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
What was it?
Okay, construction equipment rental.
That would be SAS Construction.
SAS Construction.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded to award the
I'm sorry, who-
rental to SAS.
who seconded?
Elmo.
Now Jerry's aware that he has to go, same thing again, right?
Yep.
Yes, I
Definitely.
actually put he went out for bid on the brick replacement again, and I put that on the DAS website for him.
Because all the bids were crazy, so Jerry rebid it, and it's on the state and every other website. Okay, we have a motion and a second to award it to SAS. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. F4, to award a bid to Herbert Butler,
Herbert E. Butler
Herbert
Construction
E.
Company.
Butler Construction for the River Trail. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made, seconded by Alma. Discussion?
Yeah, what was the amount on that?
129,000.
And he was the only bidder?
No, we had about 3 bidders.
Yeah,
Three
three.
bidders.
Okay.
5 bidders.
Okay.
Okay?
The,
River Trail. It's the extension of the River Trail into the one of our regional technology park.
Fincher's going to hook up with Killingly. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. G, approval of bills.
I make the motion we pay all approved bills.
No.
Oh, there was. Oh, there was one, yes.
But it wasn't approved.
It wasn't approved,
Right,
so we're
right,
paying
so
all the
we
bills.
can, correct.
Motion was made to pay for the
Confuse
approved.
this guy.
Okay, all those in favor of paying the approved bills?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Ayes have it, so ordered. Other business will lawfully come before this meeting. Today, Doug and I sat together with Jerry Bosley and the union over a grievance, and that we cleared that up. We're going to meet with the union and our representative to start negotiations next week.
We haven't got a time back yet, but it's the 20th, 21st, or 22nd.
So without that process will start. That's all we got from here. We have I have to sign the beam that's going over the YMCA tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And then Wednesday we have our groundbreaking. The 22nd we have the school, high school groundbreaking at 1 o'clock in the cafeteria. So just so you're aware, everybody's invited to the groundbreaking, everybody's invited to the school thing. So that's what we got. Anything else? You have any other business? Okay.
Yes, I have two.
Go.
I got a call from Peter Newth about an issue on the old railroad bed that goes from the Quinnebog out to West Putnam. There's a huge washout. I went and looked at it, and it's pretty substantial. So I'm wondering, who owns that railroad bed? Does the town own it?
No.
Railroad owns it?
T&W?
It all depends where it is.
Okay.
If it's between Town
The walking-
Farm and the bridge, the pedestrian bridge,
It's on the other side of the river.
right up the hill.
You climb the hill.
That's still under the ownership of the Hankin Trust.
Okay. All right. There was a question about who owned it. And the other thing is, I'm doing work on Munyon Road, and there was a pile of brush that was about the size, the length of a football field at someone's house. And I thought, as I'm going by a couple of days in a row, there's no way the town's gonna pick that up. And sure enough, the town crew was out there a few days later, picking it up and chipping it all. Now, I'm not kidding, this was about the length of a football field. Do we do that?
We do,
Truck
That
brush pile.
big of a pile?
Yeah. Of course,
if they bring it out to the road.
if you go up Heritage Road, my mom's got a little pile of brush that's been out there for a month, they still haven't done it yet. Not that big, but, yeah, when we did Walnut Street, Russo's house, whacking a lot of trees down, and as long as you have the butt ends towards the road, they chip it all up. They only do it a couple times a year.
I understand that.
But
But I thought this, I didn't realize this was for like taking care of land clearing.
If it's brush, you know, we put the notice in there, and you could call Jerry, if there's downtime, they'll come out and do some brush.
Okay.
All right.
Less than 6 inches in diameter.
All right. Any other business lawfully come before this meeting? Okay. We need to go into executive session. We need to go into executive session.
Make a motion to, I don't want to, we're not recessing this meeting. Yeah, we are. We're recessing this meeting to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, to go into executive session, which will not take long. All those in favor?
Aye.